What's going on, guys? Hey, I've been thinking about something ever since I went shooting yesterday, and it's about trigger control. You know, I've got, as I mentioned in my video yesterday, I went shooting yesterday with some friends, and I was having a lot of trouble, still am, with my PF9 shooting left. Okay, literally at like 4 yards, this thing is shooting 4 or 5 inches left. We moved out to a hostage swinger target, and I would guess that we were 12-15 yards from it, and I literally had to aim at the sky in order for this to hit that hostage head on that steel target. Of course, you know, if you're off 4 inches, let's say at 4 yards, well, at 12 or 15 yards, hell, you're going to be off 10 inches or a foot or whatever. When I got out there before my friends did, and I thought to myself, I was like, you know, this has got to be me. Not used to the gun, not used to the trigger pull. I used to have a kel-tec. I've had 2 other kel-tec PF9s. And in the very beginning, I did not like the real long trigger pull on this or on my LCP I had. Well, you know, I know it's a training issue. When I got rid of my first PF9, I regretted it after about 3 or 4 months, and I wanted to get another one. I have videos up about, you know, my kel-tec PF9 escapades and what have you. But anyway, I have my buddy. He has got a kel-tec PF9. Fire this. Whenever he fired his PF9 at that hostage swinger target, he hit that thing with his gun, I don't know, most of the time. I don't know how many rounds he fired at it, but most of the time he hit it. I'd say, you know, 80% of the time. He got mine and shot 2 magazines through it. He never hit that hostage swinger head one time. Not one time did he hit it. So I'm thoroughly convinced it's the gun. Well, to get back on topic here, I got out my Ruger SR9 Compact after a bit, and I started shooting at that swinger target, and I was missing, and I was missing, and I was missing, and I knew that this gun here has got a very nice trigger. Very nice trigger. And I fired 3 or 4 rounds, whatever it was, and I looked at my buddy and I said, well, hell, maybe I need to shoot at paper with this one too, you know, to see where it's hitting. Well, right then in my mind, I thought, you know, you need to concentrate on your trigger control. So I bared down and concentrated on my actual trigger control, and like my next 6 or 7 shots were all hits with this gun. And I thought to myself afterwards, it's like, you know, and I know what I do. This gun is safe, no magazine. I know what I do, and I do what probably a lot of people do. As I have the gun, I'm on my target, I take up my take-up, whoops, good trigger. I get my take-up taken up, and then I start squeezing a little bit, and then I'm thinking, well, this thing's about to go off, then I'll jerk it. And that's what I was doing. I would get it back like this, and then I'd think, boy, it's about to go, and then I'd jerk it. Well, anytime you jerk your trigger, you're going to throw your shot off. It just is. So when I bared down, I got it, and I concentrated. I consciously thought in my mind, do not jerk that trigger. Just keep pulling, and just let the thing go off. Let it go off, and you're thinking, man, come on, and then pretty soon it'll go off. Now, I don't know if you all just noticed, whenever I'm doing that right there, just a steady pull, see, it keeps coming back a little at a time. Well, whenever I bared down and made a conscious effort to not think I'm about there and then give it a jerk, I started connecting. And it's like, you know, we hear it all the time. Trigger control. It's all about trigger control. Blah, 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 blah. Well, that's an absolute fact. That is an absolute fact. Now, you can have a gun. This one here, I don't know if I have got a barrel that is kind of jacked. You know, when the bullet exits the barrel, it's sending it off to the left. I do not feel it's me. My friend and myself are both, you know, fairly proficient shooters. If he shot this and was getting a totally different result from me, I would say, well, it's me. I need to practice more. But he was getting the same result I was. And it's not acceptable. So, but with this gun, this is the difference in triggers. Empty. Here's the magazine for it. I have snap caps. I don't know if y'all ever seen this brand of snap caps. I think they're Packmeyers. These are some nice looking snap caps here. Freaking expensive though. 5-pack of them was like $16 or something. You shouldn't dry fire a kel-tec, okay? So with this one, the trigger travel is quite a bit more. Pulling back. See how far that's going? Way back. Boom. It goes. A lot longer, whoops, I was trying to keep that in there. A lot longer pull than most striker fired guns. You know, I mean it's just a lot. So my point is people who have a handgun like this, it has got an extremely long trigger pull. You want to get used to where this trigger breaks, and then you want to take it up. Okay, you're getting on your target. You're consciously thinking about what you're doing. Pull this trigger way back and stage it. That's what they mean by stage it. You pull it way back, and then you get on your target, and then you start slowly squeezing it. Boom. Okay. Stage it. Because if you sit out here and you're trying to hold this on your target and you start squeezing from way out here and you're pulling 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 and you're like that forever and a day, I mean it's going to be a son of a gun to keep your front sight on your target. As you're pulling, it's moving around and going like this, and it gets frustrating. Learn your gun, stage that thing, and then go on target, hold it, boom, it's right there. It's very critical. Another thing that made me a big believer in this whole mess is my 1911. My first one I ever owned. I know people are, you know, huge 1911 fans. I understood. I liked, you know, the look of the 1911 and all. Whoop! Look at that stovepipe. So, but I got that 1911, and that trigger on that thing is just absolutely phenomenal. And it shows in the results of my hits on my target. My groupings are tighter. Tighter than any other gun that I have that I shoot. My groupings are tightest with that 1911, and 98% of it is because of the trigger. Trigger, 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 and trigger control. There's all different kinds. You got triggers like this that have a hell of a lot of take up. I mean, a lot of travel. A lot of travel. You have other ones, not so much. And then you can get a 1911 whenever that thing is in single action, the hammer's back, it's ready to go. There's virtually no take up, and you just start pulling and boom, it's just right there. And that's where a lot of times, I know with me, is you're trying to hold this thing on your target, hold it on your target, hold it on your target, and you're squeezing, well then this thing, it starts moving around. You know, and then you'll catch yourself, you'll be like, man, when's this thing gonna break? And it'll get over the target, and you'll jerk it. Thinking up, and you'll anticipate the shot, and that just no good. Consciously think about your trigger control. You know, stage your trigger, get used to the gun, know about where it stages. The more you do it, the more familiar you'll get with it, the better you'll get at it. And stage that trigger, and squeeze it. Don't anticipate thinking, well, I know that thing's about to go. I know it's right there, it's about to go, and then you're like, I can't wait no longer, so you'll just jerk it. Because that's what I was doing yesterday when I couldn't hit that swinger target with this, and made the conscious effort to really concentrate on my trigger control, and it was just connect the next 6 shots. And I had fired 3 or 4 and never hit it one time. So I wanted to just kind of put my input out on that. I know there's other stuff out there about it, but this is something that I mean, like you guys, I've been hearing people talk about it, and I know that it's true. Trigger control, trigger quality on the weapon, all that stuff is so important. But I think that that's a common mistake that a lot of people might make, is anticipating. You know, you'll stage it, you'll be doing everything right, and you'll be thinking you're squeezing, you're like, man, this thing ain't, and you'll think, man, it's got to be about there, so then you'll just go ahead for that last little touch and just jerk it. And just that little bit of jerk can be enough to just throw that gun off just enough to where you're going to miss your target. So anyway, that's enough rambling. I just kind of wanted to throw that out and share it. Hopefully it was helpful to somebody. If it's helpful to one person, that's all that matters. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. You all take care. We'll see you later.